Good afternoon, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV for another interview. We're very lucky today. Dack, this man here, has agreed to sit down and talk to us about all things Gillingham Football Club. First of all, Dacky, appreciate you coming on and taking the time out from your five-a-side tournament today. This should be a good one, hopefully. We've got Stocky in today, and obviously Boss is on camera duty, so we'll crack straight on with the questions. Obviously, aside from a short period at Charlton as a kid, you've been at Gills all your career now. You had one brief loan spell during that title-winning season. Going back right to the beginning, how much do you remember of your debut? Was it Bristol City, I think?
Bristol City away, yeah. I remember quite a lot. I remember in the build-up to the game, I know I was in the squad and stuff, and it was 50-50 whether I was going to start. I think it was me and Charlie Allen. Right. I ended up picking Charlie, and then he told me to warm up about 55 minutes, and it was a weird feeling. A lot of nerves. There was a lot of nerves because at the time they was in the Championship. They had some good players playing. I think Balassi was playing. Albert Adoma,
who's now at Palace,
yeah, they was Everton. Yeah, they was both playing. He brought me on with about half hour to go, and I think it was 2-0 up at the time. We won. We ended up winning 2-1. Yeah, Heads and Ben Strevens, I think, scored. Yeah. So I remember quite a lot of it. It was a great feeling after for us being a League 2 team at the time to beat a Championship team.
Definitely. And your first goal weren't too far after, was it? I don't think
Shortly after Crawley away in the GITBTV, I think I was me and Boz was one of the 94 Gills fans there that night when you got your first goal. If I remember right, it was a long throw.
It was a half volley? It was a back post header.
Oh, was it?
It was a back post header, yeah.
Different stock, good research.
It was Chris Welpdale. It was a long throw, and I think it was Martin Allen that told me just to go around the back. I played up front that night with Strebs. He told me to get around the back from the long throws, and luckily I think it evaded everyone, bounced, and then just managed to nod it in the far post.
I remember going all the way, sort of missed everyone out, didn't you? And you got late, just nodded it into the post. Martin Allen, as a manager, obviously you hear sort of reports on social media and with other people in the game. Was he as nuts as people make out, or people say that there's obviously some various weird methods that he had? Was there anything in particular that stood out? Or?
Yeah, for me, he brought me into the team, so I'll always have the utmost respect for him, and he'd done a lot for me, and he treated me well, and there was a lot of youngsters in the club at that time, and I was the one that managed to break through. So, but I think the gaffer would always say that he always played up to it a little bit, to the cameras and that, and then around us it was quite normal. That he had he's different.
Does he
different from anyone else I've ever had?
Does he do that as a way of taking the pressure off yourself and the rest of the squad?
I think he's very clever with what he does. I think, like you said, he takes the pressure off the players and sort of puts the limelight on himself.
Especially he almost uses it as like a diversion tactic.
Exactly. I think Mourinho's been known to do it a couple of times, and he's sort of in that. Obviously not in the same stature as Mourinho, but that kind of mould of manager. He's a bit different. His methods are a bit different, but obviously that season we had was unbelievable. And it worked.
Yeah, we were speaking before we came up. It's hard to imagine that you're still only 23. You've been in the game for 5 seasons now. I mean, obviously that's your first season. How did that feel as a youngster going on to win the League 2 title?
It's still probably the best moment of my career so far, winning that league. So I was a bit of a part player, but I was always involved, and I think I ended up playing, I think it was 20 games or something like that. So
did you win Young Player of the Year?
I won Young Player of the Year that year as well. I was on the first season.
Mad because you won it last season. This season as well.
It
just feels odd that you're still only sort of 23 years old. You haven't, like you say, it's not Stocky's just said you've played like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
People probably got you down to sort of mid to late 20s, but you're not. He was only a kid when you came through.
It was an unbelievable feeling.
How good was that squad?
Yeah, very good team.
Obviously, I remember you tweeted me at the time. Andy Frampton, Kedwell has already been mentioned.
Dion Burke, Charlie, Anton Robinson. He's good now.
Mark Weston was plenty. Nelson coming that season.
It's just one of those seasons where everything just seemed to click. Obviously, especially the first half of the season, especially at home, we was playing teams and we were just going into the game knowing you're going to win. It was a weird feeling. The only time I've ever had that feeling before was that season under Justin, that first half of that season. That was the same. Had the same feel about it.
It was unbeaten till
Yeah, that was
December that
it's
season.
the only,
I think
only two.
December.
Yeah, the only two times where sort of felt like going into games and you just know you're going to win. It's a weird feeling.
I think
Yeah.
the team on the back foot before they even got on the pitch, you sort of after the game.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that squad was a really good squad, and obviously they've done the business.
Yeah, just in terms of like character as well. I mean, they were all good footballers. We know they were good footballers. They won a football league for us, but we're not comparing it to like last season's squad. I think we're probably saying it. I've spoken to Max about it and others that last season he was accused of being flaky and having no background, but there was like proper characters in that.
Yeah, I think
that's no disrespect to the current side or whatever, but there was like say Adam Barrett, Andy Frampton, that they just chuck their body in the line all the time.
I think the players you're naming there that was the difference between last season and maybe that season is the experience.
Yeah.
We don't have much experience in that change room, especially last season. Whereas if you look at that League Two winning season, you could probably both hands you'd have to take up with the players.
Well,
Lots of experience.
Even players like you just said, Anton Robinson, that wouldn't be one of the first names you kind of mentioned, but then you're still saying players like that in terms of experience and good technical player as well.
Yeah, I think I was that year. I was by far and away the youngest by a good 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think the next closest
So
to me was
you've been 18.
I was 18, and I think Charlie Allen was 22. I think that was the closest to me.
And everyone else was sort of
Everyone else was
20s,
yeah.
Well, beyond that, like Dion must have been late 30s,
Yeah.
late 30s. So obviously you've said you've got loads of respect and a lot of time for Martin Allen because he gave you a big break with the club. How difficult was it when you got sacked? Was it justified at the time, do you think?
I'm not sure what really went on.
You only won, I think,
Yes.
only won 1 or 2 that season.
Yeah, it'd been a tough start to the season, and
But it was a step up.
there was a more yeah, of course, it was a big step up to League One. A bigger step than I think any of us really thought.
Yeah.
We did struggle at the start of that season. It was tough to see him go because obviously, like I said, for me, he brought me through. So I'd never like to see a manager leave, especially someone I respected. But that's football. And at the time, we weren't getting the results. So at the end of the day,
That's the thing.
the players do need to take responsibility. But the buck always stops with the manager.
It does. Absolutely. I think it has changed the game in terms of literally have to almost get everything done yesterday these days. I don't think I get a lot of Alex Ferguson now or Arsene Wenger staying in club for 15, 20, 25 years. It seems to be there's like 2 or 3 years on. It seems to be if you look at it. How many managers have you played? Martin Allen,
Taylor, Justin, Gang of 4,
Lady.
5 FC.
5 seasons, there you go. So that sums it up. It can't be good for you guys because there's no continuity. Is there? I suppose it's slightly different with like the Gang of 4
Yeah.
because you do them as they've been in and around the club.
Obviously, to be fair, I think if you look at Gillingham, he does like tend to give the manager a little bit of time. If you look at other clubs, they 6 or 7 bad results in a row. I think if you look at the chairman, what he's done, obviously Justin was there almost 2 years.
I suppose the Gang of 4 is slightly different because they literally were a stopgap on the
They
new
was, Peter Taylor, I think, was there year and a bit. And Martin Allen was obviously there for the whole season and half the season. So.
How did you find it under Peter Taylor? Because there was some times where, as fans would say, you probably didn't play in your natural position. Was it frustrating at times?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it was tough under Peter Taylor. It was tough for me under Peter Taylor because of just how the formation he played was 4-4-2, and sometimes I struggled to fit into that so I was only young at the time, I think I was 19, and I was playing a lot on the left and just didn't really click out there and didn't enjoy it. So yeah, it was tough, and I was sort of in and out of the team. My form weren't great, so he couldn't pick me. And yeah, it was just one of those things. It was a good learning curve to be out of the team. Because at the time I thought I should be in the team. I thought I'd done that first season and now it was my time to crack on, and when I weren't getting in the team it was frustrating, but yeah, it was a good learning curve for me, and I did learn a lot from it.
Was there any time when you considered leaving? Because we saw it all again. I know it couldn't be just Twitter, but we saw stuff on social media. Leaving because he's fed up playing on the left, or was that ever an option, or was it just a case of knocking him down?
I don't think at that time it was an option. I think maybe the option was to go out on loan, but I didn't want to leave the football club, and I think they wanted me to stay around as well. I don't think they wanted me to go out and run at the time.
Justin play a little bit later on, didn't he, when you come back from injury last
When I come back from injury last season, yeah, he put me out on the left just to, because there's a bit more, there's a lot of work to do in midfield.
He said he wanted to keep you out of Justin Russell in the middle.
Yeah, because I come back quite early from the injury. There was always, I still need probably a couple of weeks to get up to full fitness.
I mean, that's when you had your best period in your footballing career today so far, in my opinion, when you played under Justin Edinburgh. What was so different that he done, or how he treated you as opposed to the other managers? I mean, obviously playing in your natural position helps. Is there anything else that he...
I just think, for me, Justin's probably the best manager I've played under. Just the way he talks to his players and the way he manages his man management's second to none, the best I've had. And what he done for me was just let me express myself. He gave me the confidence. He said to me, I'd always been that player that was looked at like a bit of a luxury.
Yeah.
I'd have to have an 8 out of 10 every week to stay in the team the next week, so I was the easy option to drop.
That's because you were young as well.
Maybe, yeah, of course. He come in and said, "You're going to play.
Whatever happens.
Yeah, you're going to play. If you have a bad game, don't worry about it. You're going to play next week." So, when as a player, that just gives you another step of confidence because you always know you're going to play. So there's not as much pressure on you, and I think that's what enabled me to do it another season.
Just how good was that season for you? Just from Bradley Dack's point of view, regardless, we'll talk about that later on about how it ended, unfortunately, that season.
Yeah.
Just from Bradley Dack and football, how good was that season? So, I mean, I missed the Sheffield United game, unfortunately, because of the work commitment. We battered it, couldn't believe it. Did it just go from there? You scored an absolute screamer.
Yeah, it was just
from there, or
just went from there. Yeah, I remember I got a good pre-season under my belt. Scored a few goals in pre-season. We looked good. I remember we had a decent, very good team.
we played some decent sides that pre-season.
Yeah,
we played POTY and Brighton, I think. We held our own against both.
We did, yeah.
I think we lost
2-1 to Brighton.
after taking the lead and playing them off the park from what I can remember.
And it just went on from there, and I think everyone was just playing to their maximum, especially for the first half of that season. And then obviously it was a bit unlucky where I tore my hamstring in the start of February, and
We lost you and Egan, didn't we? About
at the same time, I didn't really recover personally from that. I struggled to come back a bit early, tried to force it, weren't fully fit, still getting injuries and stuff. So tough ending season.
Is that due to how the season was going that you felt? Obviously, after the Wigan game was when kind of momentum switched the other way and it seemed to go a bit downhill then. Obviously, you've got an injury. I think if we're carrying on the momentum, you'd probably take the extra few weeks you need. But do you feel as if you had to get back a little bit quicker to try and reverse the team's form?
Yeah, definitely. It was one of those, the season I was having, I felt I could help the team more than anyone else at the time. So,
Did we bring in George? But he never really worked. But another one he didn't get to really play in one position. I think obviously it was an operation. Was it said plenty of times? I think there's other people who said it would be won the league. Was it adamant that we would have won the league?
it's still to this day, it's hard to take. We still talk about it now in the change room, how we never got in the playoffs. It's crazy, but it's football, and I think we spent 44 games in the top 6.
You're right,
To
yeah.
come
Out after Burton, I think, didn't we?
fall out after that, and it's really tough to take because a lot of teams, a lot of players that have come in since that played against us that season all said they can't believe that we didn't go up automatically and get down and get the pass.
Yeah, I think that was obviously as fans. It was heartbreaking. I said after Shrewsbury, that was the day I looked out the ground. We lost 3-2. Cody scored an absolute scream.
I remember that game. Yeah,
I think they had 3
we
shots.
absolutely battered them.
They had 3 shots. They all went in. I think. Yeah. And I come out the ground that day and just said, "This ain't it's not going to happen."
They caught us on a break 3 times.
Yeah, they scored over a kick. One took a massive deflection. I think the other one was a really good goal. And all, but apart from that, like you say, we'd absolutely played them off the park for 85, 90 minutes. I think that was the day when we
There were
saw
2 games like that one and Port Vale we lost 2-0. They scored 2 good goals, one that even slipped, put it in the top corner. And the other one was a great ball from the right back, dropped it over someone's head.
Was that day we dropped? Because we couldn't work it out. I think Luke Norris had been our only goal scorer for about 5 games, and then he got dropped for that game. We didn't get on, and we didn't get on. It seemed weird to us at the time. But yeah, I think them 2 games were when we realised this ain't going to happen. Unfortunately, we all went to normal last day of the season, and we all sort of. Then I think it was more hope than expectation.
It was out of our hands as well.
We did a big swing, didn't we? We did Barnes and Scunthorpe to drop points, I think.
Yeah, it was tough to take that season. Even the last game to lose like we did to Millwall at home. I think we would have taken a draw in the end. And to get a penalty, it just sort of summed up that second half of the
It
season.
was Brendan when it right at the end, unfortunately, got caught on the side.
Yeah.
Like I say, it just summed up, unfortunately, the last sort of 3 months for us.
It was the last 10 games. Last 10
Well,
games.
it was the last game. After the home form, I was something different. I was something close to us. I was 7% off. We lost the game to December 8. I think we found it in the last 4 or 5 in the Priestfield. It was a massive swing. It is still, when you start talking about it, it's just
Tough to take.
just think like it now to get out.
I mean, the memories of that Mule game for me, not as much the game itself, the lack of appreciation at the end. You took the time out to thank every fan. We was all under the impression, considering the season you had, that we wouldn't see Bradley Dack in a Geelong shirt again. So
Yeah, I think it was at that time it was important for me to do that for myself. Obviously, I know a lot of young kids look up to me, and I thought there was a lot of young kids around the stadium, so I couldn't just do one.
There's a lot of big kids in here as well, isn't there?
I couldn't just do one and leave everyone else out. So yeah, I took the time. But
So when you're in there, did you think you was going to be moving on? Or?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, at the time, yeah, I thought I'd be done.
Obviously we rejected things in January.
Yeah.
Paul Scally would tell me down because he wanted you from there. Because obviously in January we was top of the league, I think. We were still top of the league. We beat Peterborough in January and we were still top of the league.
Yeah.
We battered Bradford just after the New Year. And
Yeah, it was at the time I thought we'll be done here now. It's been a good season, and maybe it was time for me to move on, but it didn't work out for a lot of different reasons. But it's just football.
of course, yeah. Did that affect you at the start of last season?
I think maybe subconsciously it might have. In my head I thought I was alright, but the form, maybe it didn't. Maybe it did at the start of the season. But I remember I picked up an injury in the second game of the season in Southend.
Oh, you League Cup, yeah.
League Cup.
You and Amon both got Max Amon both got.
Yeah.
And that's what stretched it on.
And it didn't really recover from that for a long time. It was bugging me, really bugging me. We played, I think, Sheffield United in the telly.
Yeah, that day was really good. I scored a really good goal.
I scored a good goal.
Free kick.
It was 3 or 4 games I played where I shouldn't have been playing.
And then your hamstring went again.
My knee was playing up, and I rested it for 2 weeks. Felt alright, come back, hamstring again. So it just
We went to Wimbledon that day.
yeah.
It was
was a bad day.
Generally, poor old Rory had to come on with the wrong shirt. He'd set up the first goal and hit the red card. And I think he absolutely bashed it down after we'd left the ground as well. Yeah, it weren't one of our greatest afternoons, but I think that's when it started turning.
Yeah, I mean, just going back before that last pre-season, remember we had the friendlies against Barnet and Orient away. I remember me and my boys met you at Orient, and you could tell that you seemed a bit frustrated. And I didn't know then if you had a niggle.
It weren't a niggle. There was I just didn't feel myself. Wasn't really at it. Didn't feel that fit. Just didn't know if pre-season had done a lot for me, and I think there was questions in my head. Should I still be? Maybe that was all part of it at the start of last season. But I did get over that quite quickly, especially when the transfer window closed. That was chaps had done me.
I see you there till January.
Exactly.
So get the red down.
I got over it.
Sorry.
So yeah, I remember that game, the Orient game. I didn't play well at all. I think the gaffer
Mark's done his ankle.
it was the gaffer got into me at half time and just said you're coming off. Mark's come on. Mark's blames me for his ankle.
I mean, going back to what you said about taking the time out for like young kids and that, I remember seeing you obviously away, and I think you knew someone in the crowd, and like, my boy's a massive fan of yours. He really wanted to picture him. It's that awkward moment where, as a parent, you're like, your favourite player's there, but you're probably a bit annoyed at the moment. But credit to you, still took the time to.
Yeah, it's always. I hate losing. I'm a bad loser, sore loser. Everyone
to Hazard. So Tuesday morning, this was having a chat with Max Omar. I said to Aaron, and he laughed, and he can laugh about it. Max actually messaged me before to what really up me. Because I retweeted something, I think it was something along the lines of someone who belongs, and I quoted it, and it was only as a joke, and I said, oh, it's probably his best block for 3 months. Because obviously we struck off defensively last season. But in fairness to Max, he then come on, he messaged me, and we ended up chatting like one Sunday afternoon for an hour. I said, well, come on. I said, come and have a chat. I said, and we'll get your side of the story, our players, and it come about how you players react when you're losing, because obviously when you're winning games and you're playing well like you did the season before, you want to go on and constantly retweet everything, because we're all a bit vulnerable today, let's be honest, we all like plays, I'm sure, in whatever walk of life we're in, but obviously it's slightly more difficult, and Max explained and said, when you're losing games, you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it, you want to shut yourself off, so to speak. So he said that's the reason, and I come up, I said, obviously the week goes again, hashtag everyone, but he said you get stuck, you almost fight a losing battle as players, because you can only say the same thing over and over again.
It's a lose-lose really, because when you ain't doing well, if you don't tweet or don't say anything, then people say, oh, he doesn't care.
If you do tweet,
and if you do tweet, it's
the same again.
You said that the week before.
No, of course, and this is what he explained.
There's only so many times you can say we go again. It's not that. But at the end of the day, you've got to try and improve it on the pitch. But if you're losing, you're sort of trying to give back to the fans at the same time. When I know it's frustrating for you, like we don't like losing, we don't know what happens.
Of course, no, we don't know. We've never. I don't think any. Well, 99% of Gillingham fans are knowledgeable enough to know that we're not going out to lose football matches.
We are trying our hardest to win, and sometimes in football it's just once you get into that losing habit, it's so hard to come back.
That's what Max said. Exactly the same thing.
It becomes a habit.
So when you're winning games, he said you obviously.
It's the same as winning. When you get into a habit of winning games,
that's it.
You go on a run.
Mental works both ways.
It's exactly what Max said. He said when you're losing games, everything becomes harder. You start thinking about it too much. You feel more tired. You don't do stuff on instinct. You make about thinking about it. I suppose for you, that's one example. Like the season before, actually go in. This season it weren't quite as easy.
Just moving on to the Twitter side of social media. As I mentioned, this season won Justin, you won the Player of the Year, you won the League One Player of the Year as well. It's close towards the end, when you tend to get a lot more away fans, especially you contacting you on social media if we lose. How was that to do? Obviously, you had a lot more attention from you as an individual.
Justin, we sat here, we used to sit right in the corner of the rain, we moved right into the middle of this year. That's literally
It's just, like I said, it's just
oh, it's massive. It's absolutely massive.
It's stuff like that. I get it more on city playgrounds, especially when I had long hair and stuff. Been at Millwall, places like that. I've had a lot worse than that.
We see you on the run, and it all seemed very friendly. And then obviously there was that one guy. And in fairness to him, he did actually, when I mentioned it to him, he said he was happy. He actually replied to me. I think you cut your ear to him. Were you genuinely just trying to not because you couldn't hear him? That's what we thought.
I see him as I was clapping the fans. I see the guy, and I could see him what he was saying. I'm not going to repeat it, but I couldn't. I was trying to understand what he was saying it for.
He kept going like that, from what we could see, indicating he was out on a drink.
That's what I mean. I didn't understand that. And then when he came over, he said something about drinking, and I said, "Okay, no problem, that's you."
It's all about football. We're never going to be bored if we're at the same at the end of the day, but like with anything, there's a lot. Don't cross it. I know you, like you said, you've admitted it. We pay to come and watch you play. But at the end of the day, we're all still human. We're all people. That's the thing. I think people have to realise whatever no one is. That day for me, it just went massively. Of course, it was so far past a lot of people. It was stupid.
picking out
you
players.
but then again, I suppose you was in a lose-lose situation because if you wandered off and ignored him, you'd have probably got more.
Yeah, exactly.
If you tried to reason with him, he's going to get the ump anyway. So what can you do? I think it was Jake and Josh Wright trying to.
I wasn't arguing with him. I just wanted to listen to what he was saying.
I know one of our players decided to have his own way. He was now got with the club. Paddy.
Yeah.
To me, it looked like he offered him out. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? But I suppose he's here at the moment.
Yeah, obviously we just
got back. I thought he was alright that day, to be fair.
I thought he played well. I think we had a few chances in the first half.
But again, it was the same problem as each box when unfortunately we conceded too easy.
I think that was the thing last year. We weren't ruthless in either box.
That was the word I think he used, especially after Hayden coming out. I think that was one of his favourite words. That was chomping at the bit.
I think the highlight of that day was the picture that was taken. Holy's positioning you on the corner.
Yes.
It looks like a proud father stood behind his son.
It was ridiculous, honestly. It was like a 2-foot gap. I couldn't believe it. It did look funny, didn't it? I think he was pushing you to the near post.
Yeah, I was in the near post space. I'm never there. I'm always on the edge of the box, and I was in there for that game, so I didn't really know where I was meant to be standing. So it's not really massive. Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, you're not the tallest. No. Because I spoke to Tom Adler a few weeks ago and he said he was Big Tom. Yeah. Now this fella's rocked up. He's just Tom now.
Yeah, he's just Tom. He's a good man.
How did the last two final days feel? Obviously, we spoke about the one at Millwall where we missed out on the playoffs, and then a year later we've gone to the final day just about starting relegation. It must be the same emotion.
It's sort of a similar emotion, obviously. It's just a massive relief. A few of us were a bit complacent. We thought our squad was too good to get relegated, which it is
On paper.
Which it is on paper. But when you get to that position in your head and you end up getting sucked into it, it's, like I said, when you're losing games, it's tough. I think we beat Bury away. I think a lot of people thought after that game we'd be alright. I think we ended up losing 4 or 5.
We won 3 and 4, didn't we?
Yeah.
We beat Southend and then went to Bury. Then I think we lost one and then we beat Scunthorpe and just scored his hat-trick. And then we lost when we got battered by
4 or 5.
Then there was MK Dons and something was
And you're looking at it and you're right back in it again. And that's sort of the way the season went. I think maybe a few of us thought, I put myself in this, we won't get relegated. It's not the way it works, and we had to go to the fountain on the last day, and it's a horrible, horrible feeling, like just the whole day, the day before. It's all you can think about. Obviously, I was playing. So.
Yeah.
See, Aaron said he enjoyed it, which I can't believe.
I think. I'm not sure enjoy. I think it's relish the game, the opportunity, the importance of it. It's a massive game. You want to be playing.
He said you took a literal set.
Me and Azim, it's probably worse for the boys and not. You can't influence the game. You can't change anything. You're just watching. Me and Aaron were sitting on the bench with a phone between us, just refreshing the scores for 90 minutes.
No, I didn't go.
I just can't believe both games finished 0-0.
That's what we said, especially us. No offence to you and the boys, because we were horrific. Let's be honest, we kept a clean sheet and everyone was going to clean sheet for the first time. We all went up because Fleetwood had scored. Then it got disallowed and we was all trying to tell each other in the stand that no, it's been ruled out because they've undercut offside. And then obviously their game was massively delayed in the first half. It was
7 minutes.
It
wasn't a very nice way. Got there in the end.
Last season, I think if you didn't have the League One player of the year the season before, maybe your performances wasn't evaluated as much. Is that fair assessment?
Yeah, because maybe I set the bar so high. Yeah, it was a tough season. I mean, like I said, it was, especially at the start of the season, it was stop-start of injuries. And I think when you have your pre-season, that gets you fit. And you need the first 4, 5, 6 games to get that fitness back into the swing of things. I think I didn't get that until maybe November, December. So that's sort of where my season started. And obviously, I struggled up to then with little tackles and stuff like that. And I'm not making excuses. It's just part and parcel of football. It happens.
There was plenty of that when it seems to play. I noticed Amy come in and made a comment about the previous regime. I should know, I'm not asking to say he's played about just that's just not fair. But obviously he made comments, but it seemed that there was always about half a dozen United that were playing. Probably only sort of 80% of fitness. You, Ryan Jackson was seeming to break it down. Layton was breaking it down. Lee Martin probably shouldn't have played this season. That was almost a miracle. The fact that he's still playing a football game, because I said when you was there and I saw the pictures that day from Blackpool and his ankle was completely
straight away
disgusting.
And his parents were in the crowd on the six that day, and it was absolutely horrendous event.
Yeah, maybe there was. I don't know whether that was down to the last regime or whatever it was. There was a few of us that weren't fully fit. It's probably why we weren't great at the start of last season. For the whole of last season.
Well, we started well, to be fair.
We started well.
We only lost one, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I think Phil Brown came out after the league and said that if they can keep Jet fit, we'll win the league. Yeah. And for a while it did seem that way, unfortunately. I mean, obviously you know closer than us, but there's always opinions flying about on social media again, but he was released for whatever reason and it got done, but it just seemed odd when it came out afterwards that we were paying him right up to the playoff final. Why did we keep him in union?
Because I think, I agree with you, yeah.
You've got someone there and you're paying them, you might as well use them.
Because as much as he was frustrated, and I must admit I was the first one to not slag him off, because it was natural. But there weren't many that we had. There was probably only you, him, and that was probably Cody from time to time. But
yeah, I mean, it's no disrespect to some of our other players, but you see strikers that aren't scoring goals, draw them, then come on, we'll get them. I know I've the right one, but
it's done. Also, the biggest one was
so, I mean, you spoke about pre-season and the last one not being right for you and you didn't feel right, so this pre-season must be quite massive for you.
Yeah, I want to get a good pre-season under my belt. Started training already, trying to do my bit in the gym just to give me that base fitness for pre-season. Get a better pre-season under my belt than I did last year, and then I think if you get one of those in, then you're set for the start of the season, touch with no injuries.
just a few stupid questions now. Just out of the five-a-side team, players you've played alongside at Jules.
Alongside?
Yeah. Or go on, do what you want. Alongside or against, or
alongside, yeah. Nelson goal.
It's really only kept really played alongside, isn't it? That's what you're going. You're going to go 2-2-1.
I can't leave my best part. Max centre half.
Max centre half.
Can I put myself in it?
If you want to, yeah. If you think you're that good.
So we'll go Nels is one of the five, yeah?
What do you think? Should we give him 6
or
7?
5 out on 5.
Yeah, go on,
5 out on
Nels, Max, me.
It's got to be something like that league inside, surely. Surely got someone like Kate or Cody.
Cody up top. Adam Barrett centre half with Max 2 at the back. Me and Nels. I'll go with.
Last one. You're going to forget someone who's going to tweet you and get all abusive later.
Can I have loan players?
Yeah. Anyone play them? What are you going?
I'd have Eags in midfield with me.
John Egan?
Yeah.
There's a shout, isn't it?
Who's the lone player you think of?
I was just trying to think of a loan player.
So you've gone, Nelson goal, Amar and Barrett sitting, Egan next to you, Cody up top. There you go, that's decent, that's not bad to be fair. I'm not sure you're going to be too happy about having a play midfield.
He don't mind playing midfield. He's got a father side.
Who was it he hit the crossbar from about 40 yards a couple of seasons ago? Absolutely level it. He was only just in his own in our half.
What would you say is the best Jules game you've played?
Neil away for
Ian Boswell there.
Yeah.
Good atmosphere.
I missed that one because we can't go and pay for that when it's fixed. Then in fact, then I missed it. Unfortunately, you got sent off, didn't you, last season? Yeah. I missed that one as well. I had to go blue water with the missus. You know, it didn't turn out to be such a bad decision. Oh, Conch got sent off, and all did it. It was a bit of a bad Christmas day. One secret about one of your clients. It's got to be embarrassing.
Cody McDonald's tattoo on the bottom of his back.
Says what?
Ask him.
Okay, we'll try.
It's not a swear word either.
It's not a swear.
It's just a bad tattoo.
Just a bad tattoo.
Tribal one.
No, It's a
Yeah,
word.
it's
It's one word.
One
It's
word.
really bad.
I know he's got England on his arm. hasn't he?
Yeah, it's worse than that.
Sort of fishing related, is it? Okay, right, we're going to have to try and get him on the channel now. All-time heroes, role models, in and out of football, if you've got different sports styles as well.
I think it's just football. David Beckham, Steven Gerrard.
So I thought we read something said it Frank Lampard. I'm sure I read that somewhere.
I've always been compared to Frank
Ah,
Lampard.
that's what you want to see in comparison.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard. Thanks.
Yeah, big fan of Brexit.
You're a United fan, aren't you?
Yeah,
What would you say is your favourite Jules kind of scored in as a few practices? You got top three?
Top three. Getting slackier, aren't we? Look at 5 aside turn to 6. Now he's getting a top 3.
Right, number 3.
This is really
Sheffield United free kick.
Last
Last
season.
season. Number 2.
like basketball.
Yeah, number 2. I'd go with. Scored a chip against Rotherham. Just 4-3 in that game at home. I made it
Look that one up.
3-2.
I don't remember
It's
that
a
one.
chip.
Gonna have to look that one up.
And then number 1 Sheffield United.
I remember having a massive argument with the guy on Facebook about that. I described it as a welding.
Yeah.
For the fact you beat, I think you beat
Couple of players,
yeah, a couple of players, and then you curled it in. He's saying, oh, it's just a normal goal. I was like, no, it's a welding.
It's fine, you score normal goals like that every week. I've done one. Right, final one before we let you go. Message for the Jules fans.
Message for the Jules fans.
It's got to involve football stuff.
No, listen, we're going to have a good guy this year. We spoke to the gaffer, we've all spoke to him, and we know our plans for the season. It's not to be anywhere near where he was at the end of last season, so I think that should tell you something, and hopefully you can get behind us for, especially at the start of the season, for the first few home games, and who knows where the gaffer can take us.
Cheers for that, mate. Appreciate it. Pleasure.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers for watching, everyone. You know the drill now. Please like, subscribe. Dack is going to subscribe to the channel in a minute and get all his mates too. And until next time, up the Jules.